Yeah, I'm Jackson. I have zero experience with carpentry.
I studied at a school for historic preservation in Boston and learned about how things were built, 250 years ago.
There's a long way to go. I'm nowhere near the top. Not that I thought I was, but there's so much more to do out there.
Welcome back to the Passion for Craft podcast. Today we're doing an on-site podcast. This is new. We're trying it out. We want to see, throw something on the wall, see if it sticks. And today we're throwing something on that wall. We're going to be building a door frame. Is that right?
A cased opening sample.
A cased opening sample. Richard, will you explain what that is?
Yes, so typically in houses you have doors, right? No, I'm just kidding. Well, the trim that goes around the door, we're going to be doing a sample. I'm going to be doing one side of each, showing a different technique. I don't know what y'all's plan are, but we're going to do some craft.
I actually don't know what a door header is, so cased opening.
You know more than you think you know. Basically, a cased open is where there is no door and it's a passageway to another room. And so we are going to define the opening, okay? The problem is with a lot of new moldings today, they're so small and they're so thin, they don't punctuate an opening, which is what door casings were meant to do. And there was a certain size, there was kind of a minimum size that would have been around. But in the last probably 50 years, ever since the clamshell molding of the 50s and 60s, moldings have just shrunk and shrunk and shrunk. And if you've gone to a big box store, even good lumber yards have crap moldings sometimes. And so they end up being very small, very thin, and they don't work, okay? And so the whole idea of the classical system is it's supposed to communicate. You're supposed to walk into a space and go, oh, I'm supposed to go that way because that doorway is opened and elevated, and that's a door that's closed off, and that's a swinging door, might look like a kitchen. So you're communicated to by the use of the moldings, right? And so you're in a very nice space because all the moldings are elevated. You're in a closet because there are no moldings, right? And so there's a communication tool that goes on. Now, door casings, window casings are the simplest first step in, design, okay? And so I can take my hand in the past, pull out a molding and go, oh, that's a Georgian molding, or that's a Federal molding, or that's a Greek Revival molding, or that's a Victorian molding. Why? Because they communicate. There are shapes and details and everything else that are part of a story, okay? So, long thing being said, doing a door casing may seem like a simple project, right?
Seems really easy.
245s and just whatever. It's not high skill level, but actually choosing the molding, in my opinion, would be certainly as important, if not more important, than the actual craft of putting it up.
So it's kind of the artistic stylings of what you're picking out of the wood pile, which we've got right over there.
Yeah, so we've got, I've got a bunch of Kukin and Windsor moldings that I've built with. Okay, a lot of my videos going back onto my YouTube channel where I'm doing a Georgian room, or we're using historic moldings. I designed both of those lines, some moldings for them, the classical molding lines. And so I have a bunch of molding samples here. So the first thing to do will be to go pick your molding, right? Pick what you're gonna do, pick what you're gonna install.
Now, Richard, you've done some homework.
Yeah, I brought my own stuff.
Will you explain what you've got over there?
Yeah, I didn't want to take any of Brent's stuff for free, so. So I actually have a Windsor beaded casing, a Greek Revival backband molding, and then a 1x2 that creates the backband. So there's that, and then I have a larger beaded casing. So I'm going to be doing a sample with those. So what did you get?
Well, I'm excited to pull something out of there. I'm just hoping I don't pull out like a foot molding or something, but
and we're not going to tell you if it's a casing.
A foot molding?
Yeah, that's okay.
I was going to ask what a foot molding is.
Shoe molding, right?
It's right next to buildmanship.
Well, I truly don't even know what I'm going to be pulling out of there, but I'm going to try I think you've said 45s. I'm assuming we're going to cut these at a 45-degree angle and then pop them together. And then, this bead molding as a base and then putting stuff on top of it, never would have thought of that. But I may not give that a try, just depending on
So if you look right here, this is what we're doing, okay? These are two sample door casings or window casings, okay? So you have a molding right here that's about a 4-inch molding. This one's bigger. This is probably a 5 or 5.5-inch molding, right?
I would have said 5.5.
And so, you know, this is the cut. You're doing a 45 and a 45, right? And you're taking long sticks, shutting a 45 and building a cased opening. Now, Richard and I are going to take that and elevate it, right?
Yeah,
we're not just going to do this stupid thing. No, we're not going to do this, right? Although I suspect you don't have the, you know, experience to know what else you can do, right?
Definitely not.
And so, you know, one thing that's interesting to me.
Just like disgusted.
Yeah.
What are we doing with this guy? One thing that I always find interesting when I look at bad moldings is that they don't know which moldings to use. They don't know what they're doing. And so you end up seeing a crown for a door header or something like that. You're like, what is that even doing there? Okay, so.
Well, that was what I was going to say. I really have two options at this point in time in my life, in my experience level. I really can play it simple, you know, keep it simple, stupid. Or I can really try and put some pieces together, but I may be making a McMansion style mold. You know what I mean? Like I may be making something awful.
Well, realize that a lot of the McMansion stuff that happens is because the designers, architects, not always architects, but sometimes architects and builders are illiterate when it comes to classical moldings. And so they're choosing the wrong shapes and details to define stuff, and they may think they're building up something really special, but they're really only showing the fact that they don't really know what they're doing. They don't know how those moldings go together. I mean, we can do a molding geek out thing, but basically they're in the classical tradition, there were moldings that were supporting moldings, there was moldings that were terminating moldings, there was moldings that, you know, there's a book called The Theory of Moldings, all about the light and shadow and everything else that goes along with moldings. So,
I know what one of those words mean.
yeah, well, so there's a lot here, right? And so it's not just, oh yeah, go pick a shape, right? They're really, when you dial into it, there's a ton there. So that's why it's so important.
Well,
So you mentioned you cheated too. What do you got up your sleeve? What are you
before we start
doing?
recording, Richard was saying that he was cheating by bringing his own material,
you can't
but
tell
Brent
us?
said he was cheating as well. So we'll see.
So I'm going to take what they've got and make it better, most likely.
Wow, strong words coming from the master side over here.
Yeah. Let's see. So do we want to get after it? Do we want to start building?
Let's do it.
Now, are we just doing like the top? Like these aren't full boards. These are
Right.
just little baby guys. but-
I don't have enough. I'm basically doing this and this. Like,
yeah, I was
I'm not
asking
even-
for you. I was worried that you were gonna.
Yeah, why don't you do the full legs and then
I should do full legs.
Yeah, and then I'll build off yours.
Well, you're just asking for me to.
I
mess this
know
up.
what you're doing now.
All right. Well.
Okay, so the first thing is let's go pick some moldings.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm way ahead.
So what you're looking at is a bunch of different moldings, and a lot of this is our scrap pile. A lot of this is left over from other jobs, and so we've got a quirk bead here, which is a quirk molding that goes on the corner, which is a really handsome way of doing that. There's a panel mold. There's a crown. There's a door stop, window stop. There's a windowsill, cove mold, crown again. And so there's just a bunch of different moldings in here. The casings are kind of in this area.
You shouldn't have told him.
Well, I'd been eyeing this guy.
Okay. Let's see what he got. And he got a casing.
Help me out.
All
Did I
right.
pick one? Did I pick it right?
Well, you picked a casing. That was good.
Okay. Check.
Check. And so this is a federal casing. Okay. So this is
That's why I picked it.
basically you had Georgian, which is early before 1780, whatever. And those moldings are big and proud. Here's a Georgian molding. Okay, why is it Georgian? Well, see this projection right here? Whenever a molding projects out into the room, it's heavier and stronger. This molding cuts away. And so this is a federal molding. It's lighter and daintier. These little beads, these little lines right here will lighten this molding and break it up. And so anyway, you picked a federal molding. This is a Georgian molding. There's a difference. And
You're
then
saying I'm not tough and.
there's also a Greek revival
dainty.
molding.
Yeah, I'm dainty.
There's also a Greek revival molding, which was very sharp and more modern
Which
looking.
is what I have over there.
Yeah, well, you have an Asher Benjamin, that actually came from an Asher Benjamin catalog from probably the 1830s, okay? And so that was actually chosen because it was in one of his plan books. And so,
Nice.
yeah. So now that you've chosen your molding, we're gonna, create a fake door here, and then you're going to, or cased opening, and you're going to case it out.
Let's go. So do I need to dice this up?
Yeah, so let's just say you've got a 6/8 opening.
Okay, 6/8 opening. Do we have tape measures? I have no tools. Oh, the journeyman comes in.
Do you have a pencil? Do you have anything to mark it?
I'm sure we can find something around
Here
here.
you go.
There's a pencil right there.
Found one.
Dude,
Man.
if you were on site, you would have had to drive to Home Depot right now. No.
Just more company time. So 6/8 opening.
Yes.
So the bottom of this needs to be 6/8.
Yes.
So I need to start like the tip of the 45-degree angle.
Correct.
So I can move this guy. How do you do this?
It's not like your cold bowl at home.
It's not. I told you that in confidence. 6 feet. Wait, what is that? 12 times 6.
Wait, what are you doing?
6/8 open. I don't know.
6 foot 8-inch opening.
Mine has like a 6 foot, like a large. Oh, there's 8 foot. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, cool. And 6'8" here.
Yeah.
So I want to go to the tip, huh? Yeah, I couldn't. I've got a more hands-on one at home.
Okay.
All right, so now I'm just cutting this.
Now, if you turn this on, it'll kind of show you where the blade's going to go. Put it blade down. It'll show you where that line's going to go.
So there we go.
Don't cut the line. Leave the pencil mark.
Oh, I definitely would have cut the line. All right, here we go.
Okay, you got one leg.
Got one. Hang
Okay.
on to that for me. Okay, so now I've got to figure out. So that's this side, right? Hold on. Okay. So if I just do. Oh, this is so confusing. How do you guys figure this out? Do I need to switch it to the other side? Because that's going this way. This is going to be flat. Do we have more of this stuff?
No.
Doing 6'8" was a wise choice. Huh?
There's not more?
So it's going to be a narrow
There's going to be one more stick of that.
Oh, okay.
we can use.
Okay, so I need to cut it like that, huh? So I guess I can do it like this.
No, you're not going to be able to see your line.
Okay, ill-advised. So let's go like this and then just switch it around. All right, I need that tape again. But I'm gonna zing this around 45. Okay. Now, 6'8". I know it's 60, 80, yeah, inches.
The tape actually has a little clip on it. See that?
I think that's something you learn on the job. I don't think I should know that yet. All right, so cut this puppy. Leave the pencil mark.
Leave the pen. Wait.
What am I waiting for?
Well, I was making sure you were cutting on the right
because
side of the
you're
line.
just worried because if I mess up my door, I mess up your door, right?
No.
Kaboom. Okay, so now I've got 2 pieces and an upside down piece. Because if we fit that in, I believe it goes upside down, right? There we go, Richard. That's the way to go. What are you oohing? Did I mess up the line?
Yeah, that's horrible. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's just the offcut.
Okay. Wait, what does that mean?
The offcut is just like what's left over.
Oh, okay, yeah, sweet. Okay, so now I got these 2 things.
So he needs another one of those?
Yeah. Trying to find
Is this
it.
it right here?
Tack these into the wall probably
No.
later.
Is this it?
No.
What are y'all looking for?
No, that's not it. It's close.
You looking for the same one?
Yes.
We may just have a baby opening.
No, I've got a piece of it around here.
So you want to find it?
Yes, that's why I'm looking.
All right, cutting round 2. Are these in red because they're like the most common cutting lengths?
Yes.
They are?
Yes.
Yeah, for like wall framing and everything.
So that's why 6/8 was like just so evidently done. Wait, should I start this way? No, this one. I need to do it this way.
You trying to get this one?
Man, that cutting system with the 45 degrees is a mind trip. It really gets in your head. All right, I left some pencil on that, but I'd left the wrong pencil on that. All right, so we've had a molding switch up. We're jumping to a different molding because we didn't have enough length of the other one for a full 6/8. So the master really wanted a full 6/8" molding door on either side. Let's see if we run into the same problem. So before I cut this,
where'd you find this guy? No, I'm just kidding.
hey, before I cut this
No,
is
you're
80
doing
right
great.
here.
It's family. What?
This is what we're going to be left with.
No, I've got another piece of it.
This is a whole other stick.
I was like, what is he doing? It's the same thing. Okay, that makes sense.
No, it's a different molding that I've got extra of so that you'll have,
Your header.
yeah.
Okay, so back at it again. Do the this way 45, right? And then pencil on this side, right?
Correct.
Okay. Hey, look, you're laughing at me, but I've never done this before.
Did you leave the pencil line?
I did.
You're
I think
actually doing great.
Did you leave the pencil line?
just a little. Just a little for love. Okay, so
From
these
what
are,
we've talked about in the podcast,
Yeah.
I thought we'd be at the emergency room right now. You're doing great.
well, good. I really, my tools don't give me a chance to take myself to the emergency room because they die before I can cut myself with them.
Okay. Now, here's the deal. You're going to make like a 3 foot at least cased opening. In fact, we can go a little bit wider than that if you want. And so, yeah, go pull it
3
across.
foot at least. I got
Yeah,
it. I got it.
Cut the crap off, and
Oh,
then
wait, can I do this? I can use this. So it's going to cut that way and then fit up like that. I'll do right here, right? Okay, I don't want to cut it wrong. Well, I guess y'all kind of want me to cut it wrong. Okay, so...
No, we want you to do well.
Here, let me save all your material that I can. I don't really need to mark it. I just need to cut it, huh?
Correct.
On this first, and then I can measure from there. Okay.
Correct.
Really piecing everything together here. Okay.
All right, so let's do a 36-inch opening.
So here's a trick with
Yeah.
this. If you come over here, you can line that up. Actually, this is a little too. Here's what you can do. Bring it back over here.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting a master's trick.
Hook your tape on that. Sorry.
Oh, nice. So I hook my
That's a
tape in there.
great trick. Good trick.
So it's level with the thing, and then I just go 36.
Because it's very hard to hold your
Accurately
tape on
measure?
that corner, on that inside corner. See, even I learned something. See? Isn't this great?
awesome.
See, this is that teamwork. Now, we're not going to learn anything from Jackson, but
Well, I did just learn that he marked a cut that had no measurement. Right there.
That's a good trick you should learn, Richard. It's
Oh
Yeah.
no.
oh yeah.
You were gonna let him do it.
I was
'Cause he
gonna
went
let him
this.
do
He goes,
I was going to let him do it. I was going to wait till he got ready to cut, and I was going to go,
We're like, you got something in your throat?
yeah.
All right.
All right, now,
Left none of that pencil. Okay. We're getting our nail gun out. How'd we do? I think the part I'm
Dude.
most concerned about is that it's going to be uneven with the floor.
okay.
Like that I cut one longer
Oh,
than the
look
other.
at that, a level.
well, if you cut one longer,
Here you
if
go.
that one's too long, you can just take a blade off of it.
Too
Jackie?
short. That's the problem.
Jackie?
Yo. Thank you. Sorry, I was admiring my work. Trying trying to see how the seams fit together. Got it.
You like it? Does that look plumb to you?
That looks so great. It's like you've done this before. Do we need to go overkill? Should I go all the way down?
No, you don't need to.
Okay, so I guess then you go across, huh? Can you hold this?
What would you do here, Richard?
Same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Just, I mean, like on mine, I'll pre-assemble mine because it's a 1x.
Right.
Pocket screw it together, but yeah, on a casing like this, I would do it the same way.
So
I might use glue, but I realize this is an example.
Yeah, so, and that's a good editor's note, that this is not the way we would assemble it in the field, and that we would probably pre-assemble it, clamp it, glue it.
You don't really, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, you don't really need this.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
all you're trying to do is line
wanna
up
do-
that miter.
all right, can you pop a nail in there?
Okay. How did you do? You're short, that's fine. Doesn't matter.
Well, I'm 6'3", so.
What?
On
Look at that
average,
gap on the bottom. No, I'm joking.
Okay, how do you do this part?
You're doing it right.
Do I need to tamp that into the wall?
Okay.
Done.
So Jackson has cased
Dude,
his opening.
that's freaking awesome.
Feel good about it. Yeah, no help at all.
All right,
Pretty straightforward. Okay, who's next?
Richard.
All right, let me show you something though that could be really cool.
Yeah.
Whenever you have these right here, you can cinch them together like that. Get them a little bit tighter.
Heads up, your mic pack's out.
Oh, dang it. I'm just having audio problems today.
So just pop it in. Kind of up in here. Did a lot.
And you can do it down too, but we don't have to do that.
That feels
All right,
dangerous.
so I'm gonna do a cross-setted corner. So I learned this.
Ooh,
I
good
learned
call. Okay, he's really elevating the game here.
Is yours gonna beat it?
Oh yeah.
So I'm just gonna choose like an arbitrary number. I'm gonna come down like 5 inches from here. Or actually, you know what? I should probably, see, I've only done this one other time. So this is actually, I'm like an apprentice in this.
Breaking new
technique, too.
ground here. Here, I'll
Yeah.
get my stuff out of the way. That's my
Yeah,
bad.
man, come on.
Yeah. Clean up your workstation.
So if yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make my 245s on my pieces.
Let me get those.
Okay.
Gosh, he's so fast.
All right, so I've got my 2 pieces cut here, and I'm gonna come down from my header. Oh yeah, right about 5 inches, and then I want to come in like 3/4.
So what do you do? What's going on?
Show them where your header is and show them where your leg is and all that kind of stuff.
So yeah, this is my leg. This is my header. Since I'm only doing like a section of it, like a sample.
Did you already know that? You knew which was which?
No, that's why I asked him.
Oh, I was like, what?
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this section out. So basically, I'm gonna take out 3/4 right here,
All the way across?
all the way down. Yeah, then you'll see,
Okay.
you'll see.
That miter saw is not going to cut that, right? That will.
Yeah, so he can't do this on the chop saw because he's got too long of a cut. But we've got a table saw here. If you're on a job site, you have a portable table saw. But yeah. So we have the tools here in the shop. He can do that.
Nice.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the blade to roughly that line.
Because you need that line in there. Why?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep this. I'm trying to take all this out.
Just so you can attach the rest of it?
Yeah, just so I can.
Just wait and see there, Grasshopper. You'll see what he's done.
Well, I'm trying to learn.
No, just wait.
Okay. Is there a dust collection or you don't? It's
No.
fine, right? I'm just gonna get rid of this. Usually use it for hearing protection, but it doesn't make sense for the video.
You hear that purr of that motor? That's a sweet motor.
That is a sweet motor. You know what? That sounds better than my SCM. I'm not gonna lie.
It's an old Paramatic. It just purrs when it turns it on. Just love it.
That was really nice.
I really expect that to be louder.
All right, so now I'm gonna come down right there on that line. So I kind of tilt the molding a little bit, because if I do it like this, I won't get everything out.
So this is kind of like jackass for carpenters right here.
Yeah, this is just
holding out.
this is just doing it, like finding a way to do it. And I don't want to go like too deep in.
Yeah.
Because I can just take my knife, which is on my tool belt, and clean that up.
Do you need a hand? Do you need me to get up?
No, that's okay. So look, this is what I've got now.
So this is your leg.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's my header.
Are you gonna do the same to the header?
This
What?
is the header. No. The header's
okay.
going to stay the
Just gonna
same.
stick.
So now that I have these two pieces cut, I'm going to take two more moldings, which is going to be my 1x2 back band, and I'm going to go ahead and run it all the way around this, and then my Greek Revival back band molding is going to do the same exact thing. So we'll be spending some time at the miter saw, basically.
Making
You know,
cuts.
you didn't mind if you cut that other one 3/4, then you don't even actually have to do the.
Oh, like a miter?
Yeah, you can butt this
butt
one and then
that
just
up.
miter that one
Okay.
if you want to save some time. I don't care. You can
Thinking
also
from
miter
the-
it.
Unless you want to do it right.
From the master over here. Yeah, because I wouldn't want to see
You
that.
don't see
No,
anything.
he's just trying to speed this up. I'll do it.
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
good.
Then I'm gonna come this way.
So he's doing the same thing you do. You're like visualizing.
Yeah, I've got to
everything.
visualize it.
And you gotta see it. You gotta do that.
I was wondering if
So-
I was
so
like
no,
a noob just doing that,
no,
because you got to figure it out.
You got to
So I
figure it
can get
out.
this
So you pull your hand back and forth, and you do this. You go.
Yeah, there's a lot of you got to spatially visualize it, you know?
One of the best things to do too is to, if you can, if it's not inefficient, just hold your pieces in place, right? So you don't have to let me see, what is that? 11/16. You'd be better off to just
Hold it and
hold
mark
it
it.
up and then mark it, yeah. Because
actually good
that's
to know.
not gonna lie to me at all.
Right.
And you got to leave your blade down when you do really short pieces like that. If you lift your blade up too quick, it'll grab that little short piece and fling it around.
All right, I'll just
And just
I'll
flip
use
that over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
I may have made a 40 degree. The thing stopped me, and I'm so used to just. Yeah, I got to recut that one. That's a 30. How did I get off on that? I just came back around the wrong way. Dang it! The spirit of Jackson got me.
Yeah, it's because we dapped up this morning.
Okay.
I passed it on to Richard. Do you want it? Right here. You got it now. Heads up. It's on you.
I'm not worried.
It may just take you down to a journeyman level. It won't take you all the way down to apprentice.
I've been there before.
Dang, that is
Alright.
cool.
You like it?
I love it.
So, at this point, I'm just gonna glue this up and pin it together.
So is that not weird that it's like this is curved and then this is like angular, right? Is that not a kind of a
Well,
weird look?
but this piece of molding is gonna tie them together.
Oh, that'll go in.
Yeah.
Dang, there's
I'm
some tiny
actually not
cuts
going to
going
glue
up
it,
in there.
right? It's
I wouldn't
going to
glue
get
it.
too long. Okay. We'll
You
just
want a
try
nail
that.
gun?
He's
Oh,
got
I'm just
one.
going to use this. Okay.
Wait, what is that shooting the nail gun out with? It's not compressed air?
So he's shooting a brad, and he's got a little electric nail gun there. Just
Yeah, 23 gauge headless pin.
he doesn't use any
Air?
air.
Is there a reason for that? You don't like the air?
Dragging hoses
Yeah,
around.
just the hose and compressor and everything. All right. So basically, what I did just there, this is probably wrong. You probably want to see this come down more.
Well,
right?
I mean, you can. I mean, the precedent is that you could see it down this far, right? And then the other thing is that you've got it even with the lintel. So if this lintel is going to go all the way through, right, we're supporting that opening, then this would go all the way through. The only change I might make is do the 45 there and have that run across.
Oh, so you don't see this.
So you
big
don't see
thing.
the thing. So
Wait. Okay,
I got you.
dumb this down for me. I don't got you.
well,
What's
so
going on?
visually what's happening is that whenever you have an opening like this, you are supporting that opening with what's called an architrave, a king beam.
So you're
okay?
like supporting it like, hey, you can hang something on like it.
No, you're supporting the opening because there's a bunch of weight above,
Right.
and this is support is holding those other things from falling through this hole.
Cool.
Okay, so that's what an
So what's supporting it? Are you saying like the thing that comes out?
Will you stop asking questions and listen?
It's like they're good questions.
So this, in that Greek revival thing, which is what he's got, you've got like sometimes you'll have a stone lintel, sometimes you'll have a wood lintel, right, that goes all the way across. It supports that opening. These posts come up in here and hold up that lintel. There would never be a 45 historically, okay? It would have been a post supporting a beam, okay?
So there would never been this cut, is what you're saying?
Correct.
So then,
Right, this is a decorative cut, okay? Now, so this lintel that's going across there, that's why when I was saying I wouldn't have done this 45, I mean, I say I wouldn't have done it, I probably would have done it, but if I was truly trying to make it
You would have done it like right here.
right.
so you just would have cut it across. So no 45s.
Or I would have cut that 45 on that bead and then run it across there, okay? Just so that you didn't have a weird joint right
Oh
there.
yeah, I just couldn't get the square anymore.
So you just cut like a tiny little cut here, is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
and then go
all the way
across.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that happens when you do that is that on a really wide casing, it won't open up if things expand and contract. Because when a 45 wants to open, sometimes it'll open at the back, sometimes it'll open at the front because of the way the wood is expanding and contracting. Okay, way too much information. The point is that the cross-headed corner that he's created here emphasizes the width of this lintel, okay?
So by cutting the 45 in it, you're kind of losing the
No,
strength of it?
what I'm saying is that the point that he's set here, that ear that he's put on the back side of this thing, emphasizes the size of this thing. The historic precedent sometimes is for that ear to come all the way down to here. Okay, so there is a practice historically, a precedent for doing it, because he said to me, well, you'd probably do it much wider than that. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, you could do it. I probably would have come down a little bit farther, but I've seen them come down, 2 feet, which it looks kind of goofy, but to my eye, but there is historic precedent for it.
Yeah.
All that being said is, in the Greek revival, you want to emphasize that strength. Anyway, those are just some comments.
Yeah, no, as soon as I just put it together right now, I'm like, okay, it's kind of weird because it's lined up here. Usually it droops down a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So again,
Because
this
when
is my-
when this molding comes in here, it's going to shrink the size of this thing, right? It's going to shrink the visual size
Yeah.
of that thing.
So the purpose of taking it down even a little bit is so that it keeps the size of it.
Yeah, because look at what's happening now. This comes across there, this comes across there, and all of a sudden now, I've shrunk this lintel down, the strength of that lintel that's supporting that opening down.
Honey, I shrunk the molding.
Because you haven't seen that movie.
no, I haven't.
The
kids have though.
So anyway, a bunch of stuff that goes on in my head as I think about this.
Okay, so I'm going to mark that so this isn't hanging over so much for our sample. And then I want to blow Jackson's mind.
Okay.
So for me, if I have I don't always do this, but if I have a 1x stock like this, where I'm going to be joining it up, I'll put reinforcement in it. So I'll take it over here to my castle machine, and this is a pocket hole cutter. So I can put it at any angle, like there's a 45, clamp it down, and then whenever I turn this on, I'm gonna push this down, a router bit's gonna come up and cut a hole in the back.
Now, why do you use the Castle, not the Craig?
Well, my other castle is amazing. It's in the truck, but it's like a big thing. I don't want to bring it in. You just go like this, and you're making pocket holes. It's a one motion. Like I can make these pocket holes in 2 seconds.
So the whole thing with pocket, Craig started it, I think. And,
Yes,
and,
they did.
and they invented basically this pocket screw, which basically you can see right here, it's this angled thing that you're going to take a screw, and we can now screw this joint together and lock it together really tight.
It's in place of joints, right?
Not really, because there never really was a joint for a 45. It was always something that was kind of nailed together. And so they basically, helped that. And, they are...
Only got one battery. So what I'll do, we can kind of hang this off the edge. And then this thing could get away from you. So you want to clamp it down.
Dang, that's so cool.
And it does have another, like you can cut the pocket pilot hole in it, but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go quick. I wonder if I should show you right.
So
And this is a technology that in my mind has improved building.
Yeah, this isn't like you're against this.
No, I'm not. I think this is technology that makes, joints better, things last longer, things hold up better. And so I think this is good technology. Now, where it gets bad technology is where you were talking about, where people will build an entire case system with pocket screws as opposed to mortise and tenon joints or something like that.
give it a try.
And so
You probably could snap it.
This is cool. That was that video. There was a YouTube video I watched that like a guy was comparing and contrasting all different kinds of joinery.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that
Yeah,
one.
and he
dowels and
Dowels,
tenons.
biscuits.
Yeah.
And
another-
he said dowels were the best.
He said dowels were the best.
And you said heck no, right, Brent?
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly how he was doing his thing, but
Well, he
but
was
I
doing
would
them
say,
based off of like strength, cheapness, and efficiency.
yeah,
So
if
it's
he was
like-
doing strength and efficiency, then the dowels are faster.
But he was running. He was like wanted the perfect triangle. He wanted what's fast, what's efficient, what looks the best, and what.
So I've just seen too many doors fail, especially when their exterior doors fail
Because of pocket screws.
because of dowels.
Dowels.
The dowels are not
So what's the best joint?
a mortise and tenon joint is the best.
So that was one of the ones he tested. Was
Yeah, it's not the fastest, but it is
yeah.
the strongest, the more long lasting. Okay, so
So yeah, what I would do next, let me grab this gun over here. I'll cut this off later because my thing's falling apart. Yeah. And then on this, one of the things people struggle with, I guess I can pull this out. See how this nail has like a chisel tip, like it's going like that?
Yeah.
Some nails it goes like this, some nails it goes like this. So if you know which way this nail can only go this or that way.
Okay.
It can't go that way.
So you're gonna drive that like this so that it can.
Yeah, I'm gonna
those
like if I don't want it to bust out of here,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna shoot it like this.
Right.
So if it does decide to go weird, it'll be inside.
and it's pretty common for these nails to want to go, whoop, especially when you get a 2.5 inch nail.
Yeah, and this
it's-
is all I have. This is
Yeah,
not
so
the right thing.
it'll get wonky. So
Have
that
you
was a great
experienced
tip.
that where it just
oh yeah,
pops out?
all the time.
What happened?
That's how he shot his finger, right?
Well, it ricocheted. It didn't come out the wood. But that's a great tip that he just showed you. That the way he's angling the thing will keep it from coming up.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm blown away. I thought they had to be compressed air to shoot a nail out of a gun. But modern science.
Okay. So I'm basically going to repeat that process for this molding
with the
now.
inside. Yeah, sweet.
Okay.
That's really cool. So these are the. Is there any difference in all of this stuff?
Any difference how?
In the two of these, I guess they're all the same. Now, Richard, I thought you said you were going to be doing two different ones, but it looks like you got all the same wood.
I think I'm going to do the other one
Yeah.
eventually.
Just not right now.
Yeah,
not
right now. It's going to be the same exact thing, but basically what Dave was wanting to show his customer is that you can make this cross-headed corner by cutting a section out, or if
By
I wanted
adding
to
a section on.
Yeah, if I added on. And I guess the customer didn't understand. He sent me this and said, can you make two? I'll make the other one later. Okay.
It's like all my questions are slowing you down.
It's like they say at the end of the day, when everything is said and done, there's usually more said than done.
Yeah, I know that can be said for me.
And let
And
me see. I could cut the. I'm just gonna get long. I'm just gonna cut it.
You should cut it out of your piece. Makes sense.
Okay, I did just cut it out of my piece, didn't I?
You did.
I don't think you did.
What did I do with my piece?
This is still plenty. This is still plenty long.
Cut, and then you cut the opposite way.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay. You distracted me.
Yeah,
No,
that's on me. I'll own that one.
I think it's really hard to talk and think at the same time.
I saw you start to cut that other one, and I was like, oh wow, he cut one angle and then he cut the other angle.
This one, I can still do the.
Still utilize.
You're like, what is he doing? You're just trying to make me look bad, right?
I gave you my apprentice cooties.
And this is also like not always practical to hold stuff up, because you got to think like,
There's gonna be
if you were on a scaffold or something, you're not going to be like. You will measure a lot, but it's so convenient right here.
Right.
Check that one out.
Great.
Decent.
Like a glove. That's bonkers.
I like it. Shoot it. Yeah, these are 23 gauge headless pins.
Okay, so that's different than the nail, but it's just gonna hold it in place.
Yeah, it's for like, yeah, you don't want a gigantic hole for a small molding.
Did you just shoot somebody?
Just
I
shot it
almost shot you. It went that way, but
out. Oh really?
it's a,
All right, look at that.
yeah, I forgot. This is the only gun that will shoot without being pressed up against something. Sorry about that.
You like heard it in the distance already. That's crazy.
And let me just clean this up and we can nail it to the wall.
Amazing.
And then this is gonna be kind of weird. I didn't think this one through.
Why don't you turn it the other
Turn
way?
it the other way, yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. I'll just keep my pressure over here. Don't try this at home. All right,
You want this one?
I'll use yours. This is a smaller gauge nail. Is this what we were using?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
18. So am I going over here?
Sure,
or
go over
matter?
there. Go over there.
Okay. I gotta be honest, I don't like the proportions of mine, but
Pull it over closer, because you're not going to do that. You're right there.
right there, okay.
He was trying to be conscientious of whatever you're going to do.
The craft of it is good. This just needs to come down. Again, this is my second time ever doing one of these. So, Brent.
Okay.
Not your second time.
All right, guys. Pull over the
So it has to be real wood.
board.
It can't just be a drawing.
I'm done.
You can't take wax paper and draw over
No,
a
I'm
picture
done.
of. Okay.
Did you actually draw this?
This is printed out, and then I drew
okay.
over top of it and shaded it. And so basically what we're going to do, okay, now that we've built a door, okay, with a casing, okay, we're now going to do an entablature, okay?
But that wasn't the challenge.
Yes, it was.
Wasn't the challenge. Cheating.
So this is, from this point to there is your entablature. It's made up of 3 parts: architrave, which is the door casing, okay, the frieze, and the cornice, okay? So there are, so because I've already got the architrave, right, this is the architrave. He's actually got, this is the architrave, and he's put a cross-headed corner in here.
Corner, not a cornice, right?
Corner, cross-headed corner, right? Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build on top of this, okay, and make these things. I'm going to go grab 2 sample. Actually, there's one right there. So
Richard, you brought your materials beforehand. Brent, he cheated.
I pre-made mine before.
Okay, yeah.
So
I just make sure we're all on the same page here, because
see, the master has done it so many times, Jackson, then he has samples of his work.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm just going to be doing that. In fact, I'm done.
Nice. You want the nail gun?
So, exactly. So the frieze, okay, since this is my architrave, right? The frieze can be just, this is called a pulvinated frieze. You see that it goes out, it pulvinates out, right? Here's another pulvinated frieze. And this one is something that Voss will carve.
I know, right? Like, what in the world? I'd like to say he hasn't built a door case.
There's another pulvinated frieze, right? That can go over top, right? And then my cornice would go on top of that. And then you can also just take a flat board like that right there. Is that loose? Can you grab that? So the frieze can also be a flat board. So the great thing about the frieze is that it's simple, right? One board, and I've built my frieze, I've done my deal, and so, right, and now all I have to do is build my cornice on top of here.
Yeah.
Now, the cornice is actually 4 different moldings. You got a bed mold, this is your corona, this is your flat, and then your cimation, right? Now, I've used this Kuchen molding, this KB 314 or 234 or something. Might say on there. Anyway, because I can turn it, depending on how I turn it, it's either a supporting molding or it's a terminating molding. So,
is that the same mold just flipped upside down?
Yes, it is. So in this case, it's a supporting molding because it's supporting this. In this case, it's a terminating molding, and all it is flipped upside down. So in the field, it's actually, you don't need a bunch of different moldings to do this. And so,
I never noticed that. That is crazy.
and so, you know, this little drip edge right here is kind of part of the classical tradition, where you would have it on the outside of a building, and they would always have drip edges, so water wouldn't run down the face of your building. You'll see sometimes people with cast stone, and they have all these streak lines going all over their rocks, all over their stones. It's because they never had any drip edges in there, and that's what that drip edge is for. So the fun part about me having these already made up is that I win. Right? And so really easily without any effort. And that's what a master does.
So what was the assignment again? Just out of
We were all making cased openings.
Okay. So
and yours is simple. Okay. His is better than yours.
Yeah.
And mine is best.
Well, yours isn't an opening, but everyone else is. So what is
It's a cased opening. I'm taking this cased opening and making it better.
who made that case?
So basically, he stole your customer. You did this, and he's like, we could
Yeah,
do better
my
than
customer was really mad with me. He's like, I asked for like a high tech, really complex architectural idea, and he gave me a very simple one. I don't know.
Now, the other great thing about what I just taught you, right, how simple this was, is that this can be a mantle, This can be a door header. This can be a window header.
It can be a column.
Once you understand this entablature piece, you can go build and elevate everything that you're doing.
And that's just orders of architecture, right?
It's just understanding kind of the orders and the communication of what you're trying to elevate. Look, if this was going to a closet, I wouldn't elevate it with an entablature, right? This would be a smaller molding, right? This opening would be smaller, and it would never have a door header on top of it. But if we're trying to elevate an opening, this and then doing a pediment on top of that would even be more elevated. And so,
well, I kind of, lied before I said that you guys did your prep work, but Richard, will you help me grab this really quick? I did this the other night.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I threw this together, just thought that this would be a really good, kind of opening on top of this. I mean, you can see it really elevates the whole design.
Now wait, just hold that up there. This is what you get to do since you brought this. See what's happening here. Okay, this is your architrave, okay? You're just getting the top of the architrave, just the tinea. There's your frieze, right? And here's your cornice. Now they've done a pediment in here, but this is the exact same thing that I did. There's your bed mold, there's your corona, there's your cimation.
Well, let's be clear. You did do this. This was not me.
No. I bought this in architectural salvage. Okay. This is actually an architectural salvage piece, probably from the 30s or 40s, because when you get into the 50s and 60s, they screw up and they don't do them right. In fact, if you try to order a pediment from a catalog today, it's a joke. It's just, they're terrible.
This is actually pitched
This
down,
is pitched. Right? This actually has a split fillet right there where that cimation splits up. I mean, this is actually, a reason I bought it is because it's actually very well done. So, yeah.
And that's why I built it like that, so.
I will say, looking at everything, mine is really irritating. I don't like it.
I don't mind it.
I think even having all the right stuff and the right craft, I feel like you got to get the proportions right. I got the material, my cuts are on point.
The other fun thing to do with this molding, with that is to splay the jamb. And it gets really strong because basically what happens is because you have this flat thing and this piece would expand from about 4 inches down to about 5.5 inches.
Like a slow taper.
Right? It's a slow taper. This edge is straight. This edge kicks out. It gives this strength. It's just like this. It's standing there really strong, and so it's a great looking detail. But I've seen this, and I'll show you that Greek Revival book that actually has a small cross-headed corner. So it's bugging you, but
it might be the miter that's bugging me, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, but there's strong precedent for that, and I can go show you some, but I don't have a problem with that.
That splayed thing is kind of off topic, but what period revival is that?
Greek Revival.
When it's splayed? Okay, cool.
So yeah, good exercise, don't you think, Jackson?
Yeah, actually really cool.
We got our hands on some craft today.
I learned a lot. I think, Richard, just being able to see you put yours together was really helpful.
Nice.
Wish I could have had that opportunity. But no, I think just understanding how all the moldings are fitting together is actually really cool. And even understanding I know you're bothered by it, but I think it looks so cool. Even just in comparison to that, but you kind of came in with the flat boards and everything, and I was like, how is he going to make something cool? And I honestly think this looks even cooler than that because of the steeper slopes or whatever. But
let me show you another thing. So I went through this whole cross-headed corner exercise a few months ago and just showing you different ways of doing it. And it's in one case like this, you can do it by cutting 45s, just kicking it out and then kicking it up and going over. So that's another way of doing that molding. You end up with a bunch of 45s, but you can take a regular casing and cut it to do all that. This one was much more difficult because what I was doing was keeping this flat spot here, is expanding this flat spot. So what it required was me ripping off this cap, adding a piece of wood in here and then 45ing it over.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's hard.
It was a lot of work to try to get that one, and then this one actually just had a back band. It wasn't part of that. I was at Windsor, and I just used a back band to cut it over, and I added a piece of wood on like he was going to add on. So There are a number of different ways to do that cross-headed corner. This is what Richard's talking about. See how far I came down, right? Yeah. He was sitting there going, I wish I'd come down farther, but there's precedent for all kinds of things. And so, anyway.
That's cool.
Just another.
I mean, that right there is like,
it shows how many different
three or
times
four different ways to do it.
Yeah, and 5 with the straight. I mean, that's bonkers.
Right? There's a bunch of cool ways to do that.
There's so many opportunities.
And what you would notice too, Jackson, is probably like if we went to Home Depot and did this with their stuff, it wouldn't help it.
Yeah, it'd be a mess. So I think this is fun.
Yeah, this is really cool.
This kind of gets us all out there and talking about stuff. And
well, thanks for watching the Passion for Craft podcast. We're going to do a lot more of these, hopefully, and let us know what you think in the comments, please. And then tell us, we did a door casing today. Let us know what you want to see next.